Harrisburg-based Dandy is our musical guest on today's studio sessions at Channel 20. We got Jordan and Cory.
Yep.
Correct.
Brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
But not twins.
Nope.
No, 2 years apart. 2 years, 3 months.
Got
probably
it.
a few seconds.
How did you guys, how long have you guys been playing together?
Very good question.
Officially, as like Dandy, the band, we've probably been like 6.5, closing up on 7 years. But grew up kind of like in the church. Parents are very musical. So just started like church bands, friends bands, and being brothers, we always did stuff together. So
An important note, Dandy's your last name. That's where this all comes from.
I mean, it's a character bit as well, I feel like, but
that kind of works out perfectly.
Oh, yeah,
For how you guys are personality-wise, how your music is, it all kind of flows.
at least we're trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we live up to the name.
Yeah.
How would you, even before we even start talking, loose, joking around, is that kind of what you guys want to kind of portray in how you kind of go about yourself musically?
We hope to. No one's perfect, but
Yeah.
we want people to feel comfortable around us.
Yeah, and
and
joyful.
We enjoy doing music, and we enjoy like meeting new people and hanging out. So we hope to portray that with everything.
So let's go back to when you started playing. Was it in high school? Was it out of high school? How did it all kind of come
I
about?
started playing guitar when I was 6. Very fortunate that like parents financially were able to take us to lessons. So I was 6. I think you were
Like 5 drums.
Yeah.
So like growing up, like we kind of like, okay, these friends in the neighborhood, we're gonna make like a little band and we're gonna start writing songs and stuff. But probably more seriously, like writing and like trying to sing and everything in high school, probably like 14, 15.
Yeah.
So was it did the band kind of come about? Well, you play and you play. Hey, let's start a band.
Yeah, honestly,
Essentially,
yeah.
yeah. Just being like emotional teenagers, like, oh, we gotta write some stuff down.
getting
and,
like a new electric guitar with like a new amp, or just like turning it all the way up. Yeah, of course.
So sometimes as an artist, to get a song down, I'll just like whip out my cell phone like a crazy person and just start humming some nonsense into it. And because if you don't, that melody will escape. And I was in class one day and I had this melody pop into my head. And so I quick rushed out, hummed into my phone this line. And there was a popular song in the 90s by a band probably none of you have ever heard of. Their name was Hanson. And they had a really popular song called Bop. And what I love so much about that song is that the chorus is super catchy, but it's gibberish, it's complete gibberish. So instead of with putting lyrics to what I hummed into my phone that day, kind of kept it with like a little Hanson vibe. So this song is called Feeling Like, and we hope you enjoy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's got hair that likes a fire, but she can rock it in a ponytail. And her soul is the igniter to
with her stagnant frames lying still. And she views such beats and magazines that make her question her self-worth. But what she's blind to see, what she means to me, she's perfect in my eyes, 'cause she has me feeling like Fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do, fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do. And she's got eyes on me that rush higher, men turn to fire when they see her there. And her gaze just takes the power away without a thought in the air. And in her mind, she thinks such lies, an image on the surface. But when she's next to me, it's hard to believe she feels the way inside, 'cause she has me feel like fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do, fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do. Cory, take it away. Fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do, fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do, fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do. Fum fum da do, aha ilo, fum fum da do.
All right, this next one is called Honey. We have a couple music videos for it online. We're pretty proud of it. I mean, we're biased, but hey, gotta promote. Yeah, we hope you enjoy.
Hold my thoughts, walk with me. Crisper nights in our ripped up jeans. See our breath, shoot the breeze. All of you once, all of me. Here I stand, taken back. These times are my hideaway. Just know that I think you're sweeter than, sweeter than. Here we go, I'm all in. This is my great escape. I know that your love is sweeter than honey. Search the sky up on your roof. Inside your warmth I and bulletproof. Make your mark, we'll make them see. We're all just kids wanting to be free. Here I stand, taken back. These times are my hideaway. Just know that I think you're sweeter than, sweeter than. Here we go, I'm all in. This is my great escape. I know that your love is sweeter than honey. Here I stand, taken back. These times are my hideaway. Just know that I think you're sweeter than, sweeter than. Here we go, I'm all in. This is my great escape. I know that your love is sweeter than honey.
Susquehanna Township.
Yes, sir.
How did kind of growing up in the area, being in Harrisburg, make you guys musically? How did that influence yourself musically?
That's actually
Is a good
yeah.
question.
So like it's at least when we were growing up, Harrisburg's not like the biggest like music mecca and stuff like that, but just like pulling different things from different friends and stuff, their genres and stuff like that. Then like dad's a jazz saxophonist, so I grew up and pulled stuff from like jazz influences, but
Like who?
Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, a bunch of those guys, girls,
Yeah.
ladies,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That was going to kind of lead into my next question. So it was family kind of oriented. It wasn't necessarily, the geography of Harrisburg and the
Yeah.
musical scene in Harrisburg, but it was more kind of family musical background. How important was that to have a family that supported you guys, musically?
I
as
mean,
much as
I
they
think
did?
that's everything, whether it's music or, I mean, if you want to be a doctor or if you want to pursue more like entrepreneurial side of things.
Yeah.
Even like friends and family support, it means everything. But it definitely helped with like them understanding with what we were doing. They're like, okay, like we've kind of done like this musical journey on our own. Now like we kind of understand like how they're doing it and good advice and stuff. And being like, even when we were younger, they weren't like, oh, you must do this, and like they didn't force us to do instruments or anything. We wanted to,
Yeah.
but we kind of grew up like in a hardworking background. Like, okay, if we're gonna be paying for lessons, you gotta practice. That kind of was like the theme of things, but they weren't ever like super strict on the fact of like forcing us to do any of that, which was, I guess, nice because it always means we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, Cory, I know you just mentioned Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, two legendary jazz artists. I see two guitars. You guys both play guitars, so from that perspective, what influenced you? If there was a jazz side of it, there also has to be another side of it as well, a more rock side of it.
Yeah.
How did that influence you? Where your influences come from there?
So there was this kind of like Christian like cable news network. I think it was called like Sky Angel TV or whatever. But they had their own version of like MTV. But like they were playing like pretty like metal hardcore stuff from like Under Oath, Demon Hunter, like Haste the Day, and like that's where like I fell in love with guitar. I was like, oh snap, what? Mom and Dad, please let me get one. So that's where it started for me for sure.
Yeah, and I guess just growing up and having like other friends who were into a bunch of different styles of music. I mean, even our parents like with jazz and stuff. Like my mom, whenever like, we were homeschooled, so like my mom like during like spelling bees and whatnot, like if we had like simple words, she would kind of like sing songs along with them. And like, okay, like growing up, it's like, oh, that's like a really popular 80s song. So like little influences like that would be like, okay, we go and listen to that song then.
Has it always just been the two of you?
Our best friend who actually plays drums for us now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We kind of started out with him, but he's an amazing like physical therapist and kind of like doing his own route of things. But we were with him in high school, and then it's just us now.
Yeah.
What do people experience and see when they come to a Dandy show?
That's a very good question. Silliness.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty easygoing, but we try to write and perform in a lot of different genres, and it's not necessarily like, okay, we have to, but we love most genres of music. So we have stuff that's like very Ed Sheeran, singer-songwriting stuff, but we have like some R&B tracks. We throw some like rap and stuff in there, some hip hop.
Do you guys like interacting with the audience?
Oh, love it.
Yeah,
Love it, yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's like, I mean, some days you have like nerves and stuff, so
Sure.
you might not be as interactive, but the goal is to get the people out there.
As much involved as possible, yeah.
I mean, the Instagram feed, which we'll let you guys plug in a second, that's very
Yeah.
much kind of cut up humor, you know,
Yeah, for
that
sure.
that type of energy. How do you is that kind of do you bring that type of sense of humor and energy to your shows?
I'll definitely say
Yeah,
so, for
anytime there's
sure.
like a break, there's some sort of snarky comment or.
Because honestly, like we just try to make each other laugh all the time, so that probably just spills over to what we do. Yeah.
Where can people find you, both social media and also physically? Where are you guys playing next?
So across all social media, it's at Officially Dandy. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Stuff will come up on YouTube for that as well. But then we're actually at HMAC
this
on
coming
Friday, the 16th. And then we post most of our shows in the area as well as like we play in Baltimore, DC, New York City, Philly, and that, all on our social media and
Yeah.
Instagram.
Awesome. Jordan Dandy, Cory Dandy.
Yeah.
They are dandy, and we really appreciate them stopping by studio sessions at Channel 20.
Warm nights, French fries, long drives, the open road. Moonlight, street signs, your hand in mine, where to go. And I'm just fine. Spending all my time here with you. Sunsets, daylight, Coldplay on the radio. We danced all night, you kissed me slow. And I'm just fine. Being by your side. 'Cause you leave Afterglow. It sparks my heart and soul. The campfire embers and my favorite season, you're the sweetest autumn wind. Oh, you haunt me, and you cling inside my lungs like the frost on flames. In the morning when the sun is window pane, just stay here. Frost on things. The morning sun is my window pane and soul. Just stay here. I'm just fine. Spending my whole life.
Alrighty. This last song is our latest single. It's out on all streaming platforms. This is obviously like an acoustic version of it. The version you'll hear on those streaming platforms is a lot more like pop sounding. But we like it, so we're gonna play it. It's another love song. We love love songs. This song is called Maui, and we wrote it inspired by a trip to Maui. Who would have thought? Here we go.
I wanna crash into you like the waves on the north shores of Maui, where they'd ask each other how he can love someone so much. I wanna overwhelm your heart with the feeling of belonging, and I promise to stick against your bones with the warmth so strong and honest. And breathe, 'cause I'm here to stay. Let me hold you close as we go on and on forever. Knowing that I'll never change, and never get you here. We can laugh and play, free to run and 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 run. I wanna pull you in close like the sweetest of hues on the shoreline, where the sand meets the water, dancing before our eyes. And the sun, I wanna make you feel at home, free to be yourself, just like the birds. And now we can grow sceneries, we paint the sky beautifully. Take your time, you're doing alright. And breathe, 'cause I'm let me hold you close as we go on forever, knowing that I'll never change, to never get you here. We can laugh and play, free to run, run, and run, 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 run.
Thank you.
Thank you.